All right, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. All right, quick FSD beta update. Sorry, not beta, FSD supervised update coming to you from the DMV area. We are unfortunately still on 12.4.2, and this is hopefully going to be one of the last videos shot on this version, but you know, it's kind of one of those things that once it goes away, it goes away. So you kind of have to enjoy it while it's here. So here we are shooting another video, and we want to give you guys a quick update on what's going on in the Tesla world. So starting off with the new launched Model Y. Woo! Have you guys seen it? The light bar, everything about it is so clean. It's like when I saw it, I knew right away, oof, I want one of those. And honestly, it's you know, they check marked a lot of boxes with the new Model Y. And when it comes to FSD, of course, it comes standard running version 13 and hardware 4, of course, which is now at this point a new branch timeline when it comes to FSD and what it's capable of, because what's going on now with 12.6 and hardware 3 is a separate branch timeline. Like, what if, you know, they never upgraded? Will we have ever achieved self-driving or whatever? Honestly, I have a self-driving car for years, and I've had it since like version 10. It's been able to get from point A to point B. Now, of course, there's going to be those moments where it can't do these particular maneuvers and you have to take over. And now we're at a point where it pretty much is like 98% driving. It's just the moment I see it do 3-point turns and being able to auto shift and reverse, then I'm going to be very convinced about that last 2%. Because that's some of the biggest limitations right now is, you know, like I said, the 3-point turn and being able to reverse. But if you look, version 13 has solved it. So what does that mean? You know, we'll see. You know, we're talking about camera upgrades and this and that, and you know, at the same time, I always like to preach about appreciating what you have. You know, be very thankful. You know, and hardware 3 is legit. It is you know, it is what the foundation of FSD and what it began on. You know, actually I think it actually started on hardware 2, I'm sorry, which is just a couple of front cameras and then the repeaters, and it was and it only had like one camera in the front. And I don't know if they even had FSD on that, if it might have just been Autopilot and navigate on Autopilot. Honestly, I don't think FSD really got introduced until hardware 3. I might have to ask Holmars about that one specifically. But if you go back and if you look at even hardware 1, it's incredible. It even drives on the highway right now with just one camera. It doesn't even have the repeater cameras or anything on the side. It drives like, I actually, shout out to the Tesla service guy. I met him at the light show. He had a 2016 Model X, and he was telling me that it drives itself on the highway with one camera. And I was just like, that is insane, honestly. I mean, like, still, this is hardware 3, but look at what it can pick up. Like, we're talking like 50 cars just in this little mix of intersection right here. At least 30 cars that it's able to pick up. And that's incredible, you know. And that's, you know, I'm not saying that hardware 4 can pick up more cars, because it's just as capable, but you know, as we get, you know, progress like with cell phones, you see how the more megapixel cameras look so much more clear. You remember those old school 8-bit pictures, and now how everything is like 50 megapixel and above, and everything just looks so crystal clear. So just imagine, you know, the AI is using these better images to process. It's like your eyes too. Once you process those images in 4K, it's a lot more pleasing, and you can see all the details and the wrinkles in people's faces and stuff. And then you go back and look at the standard definition and you're like, whoa, what happened? You know, people look so different on TV. And it's the same thing with these cars now. Never in my mind I would have thought, oh, I want to get the new car because of the new camera. No, I always thought that, like, oh, if you're gonna get a new car, it's because your car broke down or whatever, you know, like it's just that time or unfortunate events. But I mean, I don't want to say first world problems, but you know, look, I'm gonna see my car through. Like, I only have a year left on this car, but I'm in no rush to sell it, you know. But I am very interested in this new Model Y. I'm gonna go visit it in Georgetown here very soon, so make sure you stay posted and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, because I'm gonna bring you some fresh looks of the Model Y, get up close and personal with that light bar and see what's going on with the inside and that rear screen and whatnot. And yeah, to me it looks like the Cybercab. It's like a drivable Cybercab that you can buy today with a steering wheel, you know, because that's the thing that was freaking everybody out with the Cybercab. It's like it doesn't have a steering wheel and it doesn't have pedals. Like, oh, that's so cool. But until it like works and it's like, you know, bam, on the road we're using it, it's not functional, you know. It's just cool to look at. So, and I'm not saying it doesn't work. I know it does. There's like regulations and stuff they have to get behind, but the Model Y works today, you know. And they officially launched it, and they launched it in a launch series where they've got some knickknacks involved. You can get the tow hitch, and you can get the all the options included. The color, you could choose whatever color you want, and they're really hooking you up if you decide to get that brand new Model Y. And I know a lot of people were holding out to get that brand new Model Y, so you might want to consider that launch version. I'm sure they will eventually release like rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, long range, you know, between like a 40,000 price range eventually. But if you, of course, if you want to be one of the first people to have it, you're gonna have to pay that little extra premium. I think it's going for like 65K, but in retrospect, if you look at the price of a Model Y in 2022, it was like 70K. So really, the prices on Teslas are just crazy. And then, I mean, just if you look at the market and the history and where everything, you know, how everything plunged like after COVID and how everything went up during COVID, it was just like, it was nuts, you know. I think Tesla had a big part in that whole depreciation of the cars, because it's not their fault, it just happened all at once, but they had a big part in it because by volume they have a ton of cars and a lot of people drive Teslas, and they stamp these Teslas out like it was nothing. So yeah, shout out to dark mode. We officially switched over, and yeah, that means, you know, later days now we're starting to see more sunlight, which is awesome. Look, it's past 5:20 and it's still daylight outside, back to like, you know, normal days again, you know. So I hope everyone feels better with more sunlight so we can get out of this darkness, but just stay in dark mode though, because it looks a lot cooler. But yeah, I am you know, looking forward to the new update, of course, and as soon as it drops, you know, best believe I'm gonna test it out, do all my test runs in this area. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.